Christos, you will be after him. Go ahead, John.
Devin, just how has the season for you gone so far? Obviously, there's been a lot of attention on your play. Just what's your confidence level like, and kind of how have you dealt with these first, 5 games?
Oh, we just move on to the next game, go game by game. My confidence level within myself is always high. I know what I can do. I know what I'm able to do. Yeah, we've had some rough games in the past, but we're getting better every day in practice, and we're ready to show it in this next game.
All right, Christos, we'll go to you, and then Jerry after that. And just a reminder, guys, I will, for the players, keep it open if you got a follow-up.
Hello, Devin. I would like to ask you, after the postpaid losses, how big challenge for you is to bounce back against North Carolina? And also, I would like to comment about Keontae Johnson of Florida.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, how big challenge for you is the game against North Carolina after the loss against Notre Dame? And also, I would like to comment from you about Keontae who collapsed on the floor some days
This
ago.
this upcoming game is just another game in our schedule. We prepare for it just like any other game, but we're ready this time. And Keontae Johnson, it's sad. It's sad to see any basketball player go through what he's going through right now. And it helps me focus on like the bigger picture. And basketball is just a sport we play. Our lives are more important.
All right, Jerry Tipton, you got next. Kyle Tucker, you'll be after him.
Yeah, Devin, what was it like I'm assuming you guys were preparing for UCLA and then the switch. It's kind of unusual. What was that like for you guys?
Oh, coach. Coach prepares us for every game, and he prepares us the right way. And he doesn't always like when we're preparing for a game. It's not always just like everything for one team that week that we're preparing. It's throughout the whole season what we're gonna face. And to be honest, it was just a little slight change, and we're ready.
All right, Kyle Tucker will go with you next, and John Hale, circle back to you.
Devin, sorry if this was one of the first questions. I stepped out for a second. But what has been the biggest maybe surprise to you about the challenge of college basketball? Has there been anything that was harder than you thought, and how have you kind of adjusted since you've gotten a few games to see it now?
Honestly, it's nothing with the opposing like what's different. It's all mental. The game is all mental, and you have to have like a strong mentality, and that's it. But we're learning every day, and we're getting stronger, including myself. Yeah.
All right, John Hale, come back to you. John Long, you'll be next.
Devin, just what's the biggest change in your role now that Terrence is playing with the ball in his hands a little bit more?
I'm doing the same thing. I can still be a point guard. I can still be a guard off the ball. And Terrence is a great point guard. And when he gets subbed out, I go to the point guard role. It gives me a chance to get off the ball and kind of see the court in a different area. And yeah, I like it.
And I don't know if we'll talk to you again before next week. So, as a guy who was down between Kentucky and Louisville in the recruiting process, does that game mean any more to you next week?
I don't really pay attention to that other school. I'm here right now. I'm at Kentucky.
John Long, you got next. Jerry, I'll circle back to you.
Hi, Devin. You talked about having a strong mentality, and before you signed on here at Kentucky, you knew that the fans were really into it and very passionate about it. Do you hear a lot of the chatter that's going on out there about point guard play, and how have you responded to that?
Nah, I don't hear about it. But I know there's some chatter going on. That chatter, the negative chatter, those aren't really fans of ours. That's what we know. Our fans of ours are always going to stick with us. So all the negative stuff, they're not with us. We keep moving forward as a team and people that are with us, and that's who we carry along with us.
Yeah, you seem to be such a positive person. I look at you, and even if you're struggling out there, you got a smile on your face, you're working hard. Where does that come from? What part of your personality did you get that from?
Just never showing weakness. always staying positive and what next play mentality. What can you do to help your team, even if you're not out there?
Jerry, you're up. Kent Spencer, you'll be after him.
Yeah, Devin, I wondered what was the bus ride back from Atlanta like? Was it an overnight thing, or I guess you got back early morning? What was that like, and how do you feel about flying to Cleveland rather than another bus ride?
That bus ride to Atlanta was rough. That's 6 hours, and we're just, I mean, there's not much you can do on a bus but sit there and watch movies and interact with your teammates. But your legs get all swollen and stuff. It's 6 hours of not moving really. But that, I mean, if we could have flown, I would rather fly. I'd rather fly anywhere. But yeah, that was that. I mean, on the way back, we all just slept. We were tired.
And one other thing about Keontae, I wonder if there's any sort of apprehension about playing when you see in the COVID time a player go down like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. What the world saw with him, it's scary. I mean, none of us really know a whole lot about COVID. We just know it's a dangerous virus, and it can cause harm to people. But it's scary. I mean, we just got to be cautious and be careful with this whole COVID thing. Wear a mask at all times, and to try to prevent it, wash your hands, do everything you can.
Kent Spencer, go ahead.
Yeah, Devin, you talked about the biggest adjustment to the college game is the mental. But I would imagine in high school you could get by with doing things on the floor, moves, certain things, that it's a lot harder to get by in college now. How much is that a learning process, not just for you, but for all of the freshmen?
I wouldn't say it's harder because, like, as players, all of us can still do that. But it's within our system of the way coach is coaching us. He's teaching us to play basketball the right way. So all those moves don't matter. You don't need all those moves, and we try to prevent doing those and keeping it simple and attacking the lane off one dribble, two dribbles, and going in straight lines and being on balance, getting jump stops, and making open shots. So it's really just teaching us the right way to play basketball, and we're adjusting to that. It's a process. We're going through it right now, but we're getting better every day at it. And I think in the end of it, we're going to be a great team.
Looks like we got one more question from Christos. Christos, go ahead. If we don't have any others, we'll leave it at that.
Devin, you had a great second half against Notre Dame. How big boost you get from that second half, and also what different we were gonna see on game against North Carolina?
You asked about the second half of the Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that game gave us a lot of confidence and shows how we can play with a lot of energy and fight. I mean, a lot of people say that we don't fight, but the second half, I mean, it just proves to us and ourselves. We don't have to prove anything to anyone else, but it proves to us that we can fight and we can be that team that Kentucky usually is. And it just it gave us a lot of energy after the game. I mean, even though we lost, a lot of us were still up because it's like, wow, like we can keep going off of this, and this is who we are. That based off that second half.
All right, guys, we will end it there with Devin. Appreciate him joining us. And, guys, do want to apologize again for the overlap. Just